মিটিংয়ে ঢোকাই নি হোস্ট will let you in না ওয়েটিং রুমে রেখে দিয়েছে
Hi, Agya. How are you?
Yeah, hi Marlene. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Could you please switch on your video?
Yeah. Am I audible and visible properly?
Sorry, come again?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
can you
you.
look into the camera? Okay. Hi, Dalila. Good morning.
Yeah, hi, Malin. Good
Hi.
morning.
Hi, Dani.
Could you please switch on your video, please?
Yeah, it's switch on.
Okay, great. Please look into the camera. Okay. So, Candy, it will take 5 minutes for your interviews to start, okay?
Yes.
So, for now, I'll move you to a waiting room where you will be waiting for a few minutes. And panels are already there. They will go through your profile first, then they will begin. Once they give me a heads up, then I'll move you to the panels now, okay?
Okay, sure.
For now, you will get a pop-up for join. Click on the join button. Then once the panels are ready, you will get a pop-up to join a different room. So click on that one for your interview, okay?
Okay.
So now click on the join button. 1 second.
ওরা দুজন করে মিটিং রুমে বসে দিল এটা অন্য মেয়ে এসছে জানিস তো সে মেয়েটাকে ছবি তুললো এই চারটা দুজন করে ওয়েটিং রুমে পাঠিয়ে বাড়ি গেল বিরোধ করে বসে আছি তোমার দেখা না রে তোমার দেখা না ও না মিউট আছে রেকর্ডিং হচ্ছে এসব আসছে আমি হ্যালো
Hello.
হাই Hello, Sammy. How are you?
Hey, hi. Okay. Very good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you.
So, yeah, just give me a minute. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
sure,
just.
sure, sure.
Yeah. So again, we can proceed now.
Yeah.
So can you just brief about yourself and just give an idea of the technical expertise you have and your current role and.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. So I have around 7 year, 9 months of extensive experience that includes front-end technologies. I have started my career with Angular, so then React gradually, and I have also worked with mobile development apps like using Ionics and Cordova, those things early in my careers. Later on, I have gotten great opportunity to work with the DevOps technology where I had to build the entire pipeline structures, deploy things over the Kubernetes, Dockers and Kubernetes using Argo workflow and all those things. Okay, and coming to my current roles and regulations, so currently I am managing a team of 5 people where they need to, develop an applications in Angular, and at the same time I'm working in a Node.js to, create the jobs and other things for the entire applications, managing the states, architecting the solutions in total. Like I'm working 2 3 projects. Yes, like one is my primary, but other 2 things I need to support there as well. Also get the requirement from the client, align the story to the juniors, and during the deployment time need to prepare the code for different environments, creating the merge request and accepting other things, doing code review and all those things. And so this is how it goes, in my life cycle. So if you would like to know anything specific, we'd be happy to share the same.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, thank you for sharing that. So, what are the technical stack currently? Your project is
Currently,
based on.
yeah, current project is having technical text Angular, that's the primary tech stack. Okay, that
Okay.
includes also Node.js. I mean, it is written, the backend is in Node.js. Also, the other cron jobs and other things, it's in Node.js. Okay, so and there is Docker. Okay, Docker Kubernetes is the another part of it where we initial days we used to deploy in on premises and all. So, but now we have implemented, push mechanism, like pull mechanism deployment strategies, like creating a cluster on top of the Kubernetes and using Argo workflow, taking it on top of it. So it was not implemented, so we are doing it right away. Right now, I'm involved in this task. That is one of the another technology stacks involved in this. But along with that, additionally, if we talk about myself, apart from this project, I have also, I know about Node.js, React.js. Okay, these all the technologies I have also worked on. Some hands-ons I also have in Java also. I mean, not in that much exposures, but yes, I have some hands-ons in Java also.
Okay, thank you. So, do you have any exposure to .NET, .NET,
Unfortunately,
MVC or
no.
WPP?
.NET I have never worked on, but Java I have worked on. I know the concepts of the object-oriented programming and all those things. Like, but in Java I have worked on like connecting with the database and then getting the data out of it using how to get the data from the cursors and all those things. I have worked on, but .NET unfortunately did not get a chance to work on.
Okay, so predominantly, from your profile, I could see that you have exposure to all front-end technologies, right?
Yeah.
So the back end, like API, any API development kind of
Yeah, API development current
exposure.
project I'm doing in Node.js as I mentioned, and
Okay,
sometimes I have also worked on in Java also.
okay. And, so any database in the
Yeah,
back end,
database
like
MySQL currently in my project that is we are using MongoDB. It's a
okay,
NoSQL database. That is the collection we can say. So like whatever the collection set we are preparing, we are inserting over the MongoDB and getting the data out of it. Okay, even the jobs that we are running, that is to control the projects and all, that is also in MongoDB. But earlier I have also
okay,
worked in MySQL. Okay, to create the cursors and store procedures and get the data out of those things.
okay. So you're currently your role is as in a lead,
Yeah.
technology lead. So how you also do hands-on also, or
No,
only
yeah,
the
I need
lead
to do
activity?
hands-on. See, along with my day-to-day work, I also need to guide others, because it's a team all total. So where we need to communicate with other things, someone is stuck at some places, we need to help them speedify the process so that they can get out of those things. At the same time, my role is to bring some innovations on top of it. Like, for example, initially we are stuck in defining the workflow and all. So we are doing research, we do the research, how to create the, boilerplate template for the Docker containerization part and all those things. So those kind of things I need to do. Managing the other things also, definitely hands-on is the one of the thing.
So, okay, you have any cloud exposure?
Yeah, cloud means, as I mentioned, Docker Kubernetes one deployment part is there, but yeah, as a part of deployment, not in this current project. So previous project, my project, I used to deploy things over the Amazon AWS over there. So we used to create EC2 instances, and we used to allocate RAM and other things on top of that, and creating the virtual machines and setting up the deployment over the Azure.
In
As I,
AWS, right?
yeah, Azure, yeah, AWS, sorry,
Azure?
AWS, yes, yes.
Okay. So you have any exposure to Azure?
Not really, but I have recently done, not hands-on, but recently done Azure, some cloud certification was there for our training and learning purpose, some 900, AZ900 most probably. So that I have just completed recently, but did not
Okay.
have hands-on, but I know the concepts, how to create servers, how to allocate resources, load balancing over there. So those kind of concepts I know.
Fine. So to proceed with the client in Angular, what is the Angular version you are using in your application?
Currently it's 12, version 12. Latest is not 12, but 16 most probably. And it's 12
Okay.
I'm using, yeah.
Can I explain what are the new features incorporated in Angular 12?
Yeah, some of the things, like earlier it was not there, like tree shaking was not there. Okay, so that came into this picture. Earlier it was like parent-child relationship, data communication, and all those things. We used to pass inputs and other things, right? So that was at the rate inputs. Some syntactical sugar got changed. Now inputs array is there, okay, to handle it in a different way. Another good thing came in the IV compiler, like IV came into this. Ahead of time compilations came into this picture now. Like earlier we need to, during the build and all, we need to turn it true and all, but now ahead of time is by default it turns triggers. So these are some of the things came in the new features.
Okay. So can I explain what is the difference between a component and directive in Angular?
Yeah, see, directive is nothing but whenever we need to add some syntactical sugar on top of a class, we write directives. Like for example, I have a class, but I want to explain that it is a kind of Angular special class. How can we do that? We attach some annotations on top of it. Okay, like at the rate ng module, we write over there. Okay, so it becomes a special type of class, and we call it a module. Okay, so there is three type of directives if we talk about. One is structural directive, attribute directive. Another is component is also a directive. Structural directive, if I talk about ng for, if, that does the DOM manipulation related stuff. Like I'm looking on top of a tr or row, and appending 5 or 6 more rows. Okay, so that is this kind of structural change I'm doing. Okay, or removing something from the DOM, ng if, or bringing something into that. So those kind of things are the structural part of. Okay, structural directive is
Okay.
one thing. And there is attribute directive. Okay, there is an input type, for example, input type equal to text or something is there. I am writing hidden, third bracket, property binding way, hidden. Okay, so that is having a true or false value. Based on that, it will hide it from the DOM or it will show it also into the DOM. So that is a kind of structural directive I mentioned. This is a kind of attribute directive. And at the same time, component also brings some new flavor into the page. Okay, so component itself is a directive that is having our styles URL to, and also template URL and the HTML that we need to refer. Okay, so that is how the directive is mentioned. But component is all, as I mentioned, component is also a directive, and we write multiple components in order to, break down our codes in multiple places, communicate with different components. That may helps us easy. But the reverse is not true. Component is a directive actually.
No.
Yeah.
So what is a promise and observable in Angular, and where do you use it?
So the thing is, at the end of the day, both are related for the asynchronous operations. What does it mean? Like whenever you ask my name, I suddenly answer that my name is Arghya because I know it. Similarly, in the JavaScript world, whenever we get something immediately, we don't get something immediately. Like if I need to make a API call or fetch call to get some data and then work on it. So those type of situations we need to wait for some time and then do some kind of operations. But waiting and halting is not a proper solution, so you need to maintain that asynchronous way. There are ways to handle it. One is in a promise way. I mean, earlier days, even today also, we write callbacks, callback healths are there, async cavity is also there, but promise is one of them. It's a better syntax. So that provides a future value of a asynchronous operations. It can tell you that it will be resolved or rejected, fulfilled, or like any state it will return. Based on that, we can take actions and do the rest of the task. Similar way, observable also does the same thing, but the flavor is it is a Angular syntax. Okay, basically it's an RxJS syntax. It is also used for asynchronous operations, but the main difference is even if it is also meant for asynchronous operations, it is mainly provides lots of like methods are there. I can provide chunks of data in a multiple portions, not like promise everything at a time I need to send. I can provide different subscriber model and pass portion of the data, slice of the data multiple times. Even in case of promise, there is no one who should, it will be automatically sent to everyone. But in case of observable, I need to subscribe it. Even once my tasks are done, I can unsubscribe it as well at the end of the task. Okay, so there are different RxJS operators are there like map and switch map. Okay, those different operators come works with the observable very nicely. So that is the observable. Like the most we are getting more flavor on top of it. So that's it.
Okay. So what do you know about the service workers in Angular?
Service workers in Angular. Service workers, I don't know what is service worker, but are you talking about web workers? If it is
Yeah.
HTML5 web workers, then I have some idea, but service
Okay,
workers,
no, service workers isn't different. Okay. So what is zone in Angular?
zone.
Yeah.
Zone. Maybe I don't know the technical term, but I know the concepts. If you tell a little, I mean, what you are expecting, what is the requirement, I can fulfill the gap.
No. So zone, it's a terminology in Angular where you would so basically separate all these components and modules into particular zones. So, okay,
That
that's
is so
fine.
like we do in lazy loading way, right? Like we divide the applications and
Yeah.
different portion of
How
the,
do
yeah.
you, have you implemented lazy loading?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very
Okay.
big, huge application. Even not only the lazy loading, we have different approaches of the loading. We have preloading approaches, we have lazy loading approaches. Okay, like thing is, we have like a Flipkart kind of big applications that we are working in. So our main intention was to make the initial render time as less as possible. Main.js should not be, filled up with lots of things. Okay, so we implemented lazy loading, having can load attribute is there in the routing. We first divided the how many modules we can have, targeted that what all things we can do that kind of eager loading. Okay, I mean eager loading means by default load I can bring into that. And there are some applications are there, like some 6 modules are there, where we have implemented preloading also. Like during the lazy loading process, in the background that will get loaded. Okay, so we enable those things as preloading too. Some of the things are lazy loaded. Okay, this is how we have maintained our entire applications.
Okay. So how do you optimize an application? If there is an response time or assuming like a response time is more for the page to load. So
Yes,
what are
yes,
the
yes.
optimization steps involved you troubleshoot
Yeah.
or you propose?
Yeah, I can tell you with my experience what I did in my current project. It was a kind of performance was very less, but we did a lot of things that helped us to achieve at least 92% in terms of percentage checking and all those things. One of the things we have I have seen that entire applications was there was multiple times we have used observables and all, we have not unsubscribed it, so that was creating a memory leak kind of issues. Even not only that observables, so there are different arrays and other things everyone has created, some other developers has created, but they have not, I mean, turned it in, I mean, uh, did not clear it, empty it. Okay, so we need to do those kind of things, because at the end of the day, those things, I mean, is a nightmare for the developers. One more thing I can remember, that is, we need to check thoroughly that every place's set timeout or some set interval kind of stuffs are used. If it is used, we need to definitely, I mean, use clear interval or something. If it is not, we need to definitely use it. That's one portion of it. And along with that, I have also seen that in the entire applications, TS lint we have configured to do that linting type of things, and on all. Okay, one more important thing that we have done, that was analyzing the script. Okay, that helped us a lot. There was like, like in HTML5 we got two new attributes, async and defer, that along with the script, if we type on the top of it, some async is actually fetched synchronously and then execute it and then does the rendering, but defer does a better performance on top of it. I mean, does the fetch cycle, and at the end of the rendering, that does the renders like execution cycle. So we need to analyze that what script we are going to use. That page is needed it before it loads, or it's not related to that. Okay, so we need to apply those kind of things. Tree checking, which we should enable, and what else? Like these are few things, and yeah, at the same time, that lazy loading, preloading approaches, determining it properly, and removing unnecessary codes. See if possible if we can modularize it, like interceptors. We have introduced a few things they used to do every time, but we have used interceptors. Okay, so these are the few things which I can recall right now, which I have done recently in my projects, that help us to gain a better performance out of it.
Okay, yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for that. Yeah. Um, so I think so that's it. I had my from end. But basically, actually, the role we are looking for is kind of an full stack developer
Yeah.
with the exposure to like I mean, in the backend API development using C# and Angular, but along with front end and backend SQL also. So yeah, so based on that, I mean, the role stack, the role and the project, the description, maybe we'll just get back to you on that.
Yeah.
So you have any queries?
Yeah,
Like that?
like one thing, like, yeah, maybe .NET is something I have not worked on. It's absolutely correct, but I do have similar kind of expertise in Java and Node.js. So things are
Okay.
like, I mean, if chances are given, I'm a very quick learner and I learn to new things. So
Okay.
definitely, I mean, I can take it up in that way. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my thing.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We will just
And how is my
take into
feedback? Because this
consideration.
is something which helps me to take it to the next level. I mean, it's not about selection or rejection. That's not in my hand. It's I'm talking about overall feedback as a person, as a I mean, communicator, and all those interviews that we have done in next last 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. You were able to articulate. I mean, in the areas where you have exposure well, and so you're able to just articulate. Maybe you can just add some more pointers to include like for the project scenarios, like where you have used on all these. So that would
Yeah,
probably help us to gain an I mean understanding or provide an impression that you have worked all these in your current project or such things.
yeah,
That's the only thing I have from my end.
yeah. Thank you so
So
much.
yeah,
Thank you so much. It
thank
means a
you.
lot.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you for your
yeah.
time.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Rejected. ও অ্যাঙ্গুলারে অত জানে না, ওই ওপর নেট থেকে অ্যাঙ্গুলার শিখেছে, অ্যাঙ্গুলার কোশ্চেন। হ্যালো।
Hi, yeah, you're done with your interview?
Yeah, I'm done with my interview, and yeah,
Okay, you can drop off from the call. I'll give you an update once I get a feedback from the panel, okay?
yeah.
Just keep
Thank
your phone handy.
yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for handling it. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.
জোন এমন টার্মিনোলজি ইউজ করে না, যে বলে না সে সঞ্জয়, কোনো মানে হয় না টার্মিনোলজিগুলোর। লেজি লোডিং ফেজিলিং সবই জানি, জোন বলে কিছু। ওটা আমি ইউজ করিনি, জানি না। এ দুটোকে অ্যাড করে নিই আর কি ইন্টারভিউ কোশ্চেন পাঠিয়ে দেবে দুটোকে রেকর্ডিংটা অফ করে দিই 25 মিনিট ইন্টারভিউ হয়েছে